Doesn't look like they're going to be trying to go for that Sombra strategy. It's a return to that Reinhardt Goats composition. And kind of just try a little bit more of the same of what you did on Oasis. Take Trill down very early on. It's easier said than done, though, especially when you're on the defense, because every time you take a step forward, that's a potential, that's a potential for punishment. If Envy are able to take you out very early on, then your defense has lost a member, and you've basically, at that point, lost the fight.
Envy also one of the best in Contenders at identifying points in the opposing team as well. Small mistakes turn into big fight wins for Team Envy as they really just hunker down and win at these fights. They have the grit. They've come back from man disadvantages a couple times this series, so let's see if NRG Esports are going to be able to stop that from happening this time around. As we do see our first engage, they're going to flank around and meet on the objective one more time. They're seeing each other from across the way. The neutral zone is very large right now. Team Envy, though, really do want to take this fight eventually, as they are on that offensive side. If they take too much time trying to get onto the point, then NRG will overcome them in ultimate charge. Right now, Team Envy is still just trying to figure out the exact way to make it up to the objective, which they've already gotten one tick on, and so now it's on NRG to come into Team Envy and take this fight, and I think a little bit of discombobulation happened for NRG Esports. I think they were ready to dance a little bit longer, where Trill and the rest of Team Envy are like, no. Come to me. You're gonna dance here on the objective.
Exactly. Embrace me with my massive metal hammer. You saw Stand 1 and Byram, they both dropped down onto the point. You do need to do that eventually, otherwise Envy will just capture the point. But Envy, again, kind of just walked past Stand 1 and instead fell upon Byram. That Zenyatta, is so squishy, even though he's made of metal. And now they're going to try and do this again. Stand 1 caught away from his team.
Oh, that was a really good boot coming from Fire. Unfortunately, they weren't able to take advantage. Stand 1's positioning because of that boot. Self-destruct is in the back line, and Elliot will be getting that kill after that Earth Shatter. He's probably on the way to standing back up. And it's so funny, we were joking earlier that for some reason, Lucios get caught out on self-destruct so frequently. And I think they're just trying to help the team maybe, but we see that Lucio get caught out once more here. Good stuff coming from Team Envy. They're going to take 2 fights and a point potentially.
Yeah, most likely here, Stand 1 rolling, and Hoops trying his darndest to keep him alive, but it's not going to be working out. However, Team Envy have lost Ellieboat themselves.
Yeah, but they do have the sound barrier coming through. Ellieboat has switched on to the Wrecking Ball. He is back, so this is a 66 once again. It's next on the self-destruct train, and it's going to get off on the wrong stop. Actually, it's very going to get off back at spawn. Team Envy going to have another clean fight. That's 2 fights pretty much in a row on B. That there was a re-engage coming from NRG. Ellieboat came back with that Wrecking Ball, but still, that was still a very clean fight for Envy.
I mean, forget the blue wave. Green wave apparently is the next hip thing. Boy, man, Envy just pressing their advantage. No holds barred. They never took their foot off of the gas pedal. And, while they were playing that kind of patient, hard eye contact, Reinhardt v. Reinhardt shield game on the high ground of point A, once they found that advantage, Team Envy's like, you know what? We're just going to go to the objective. They were trying to look for a moment where they could maybe find a pick against NRG. Somebody would be out of position. A couple of the members of NRG were taken extremely low in those first exchanges of volleys. But then eventually Envy were like, well, we'll just try and fight you on this point. We are very, very good at goats. And NRG served them up quite the opportunity by leaving their Zenyatta unguarded. Envy roll into point B with their ultimate advantage, and NRG just couldn't really stand against the crashing waves of our attackers.
And so NRG Esports looking at something fancy. We most likely will not be seeing Byram on Tracer, but one can't hope. Looking on the other side,
Zens have flexed onto Tracer in the past. Badosin.
Yeah, they've also played Roadhog. We've got a couple Widowmaker Zenyatas out there.
Gesture, best Widow NA.
Yep, Gesture still the best Widow in North America. Team Envy now trying to become one of the best teams in North America as they shoot the American flag. Gotta be some people upset about that, I'm sure.
Oh no. Don't at NRG. It's all just for practice. Look at this. Are they going to come out with the ham? Nope. All right. Mirror will swap onto the Brigida. Slightly more standard composition for NRG, but that does mean that they could be vulnerable to the same kind of weaknesses that Envy exploited in this last round.
or NG can be exploited in the same way NRG Esports were exploited as well. So let's see how long the stand from the play last. Our energy is going to go straight there and try to get onto the point. There is no arena for Bunker Prop to deal with, so we can try to force a fight onto the point, but right now Kevster is low, so the supports are going to need to get some more ultimate charge for NRG Esports while Team Envy's waiting for them on the objective.
Envy are beating NRG currently in both the Earthshatter and Grav charge, so NRG need to make a move at some point, otherwise Team Envy will just use their ultimate advantage earlier.
Yeah, Fire actually used the answer up for the ceiling, so there's going to be a little bit less of an opportunity to save a losing fight, but right now Team Envy are just going to wait until that cooldown finally comes back up and get back on to the objective. They're waiting for some ultimates, but it's not coming, and right now Stand 1 is going to go right back to spawn. Some good focus. You saw the Diva crash right into that Reinhardt, and it wasn't long before NRG Esports.
I feel like Team Envy have currently been using Trill almost as just like a sacrificial lamb, right? It's like, you know, you throw him into that Reinhardt v Reinhardt battle, and poor Smex, oh, has to, there's no air, nobody can hear you scream. But, oh, RIP, everybody press F. It's just, oh, that's just so sad. There's not even a scream, right? Such a slow death. But, you know, Team Envy have been able to win these fights without Trill in them, you know, quite a few times. It's almost as if they're expecting him to go down. Not that they want him to go down, but if he does, everybody else on this Envy team is ready to pick up the slack, almost as a, you know, kind of like what Vancouver Titans does with Bumper.
And so Team Envy are going to take up shop onto this high ground block. Nice the pass that NRG Esports can take, and Team Envy are going to take the fight to NRG. And now they've already gotten that casualty. This is already a winning fight for Team Envy, and NRG Esports haven't really had an opportunity to use those ultimates.
Yeah, I mean, they've just been banking them for a rainy day. They're very well prepped, tons of umbrellas to be found with all the glowing check marks. And I really like Team Envy's just reactions, right? Another team may have, you know, panicked. Their Reinhardt gets booped off of the high ground. NRG have an obvious opportunity, but instead, Envy play it cool. They look for their own opportunity and immediately gank one of the members of NRG on their approach.
And so they're going to go out to the stage for a hot minute. They're going to come into the Contenders. There is a counter-transmitted Ellie also to help the drug. Not going to get anything, but he's going to be safe to get back into that next section behind the rest of NRG Esports. He's really good boost the potential disruption that Ellie can cause. The sound barriers are out for both sides. Next using that self-destruct. Will he get anybody? No, he will not. And there's only a minute left for NRG Esports. They are investing almost everything in this fight. It's going to be bad news if they lose. The Fire going to get 2 kills. Will Team Envy be able to overcome a man disadvantage once again as they do get Elivo out of the mech? NRG Esports now in control of this fight as Fire's going to get the 3rd kill of this fight. NRG Esports really need Byram to start fragging out. There is a direct correlation between Byram getting those frags in and their winning potential.
Undoubtedly, Team Envy also definitely helping NRG win out that fight. A really, really big investment early on. They get grabbed. Not only does Crimso pop the trans, but we saw Elivo drop the self-destruct as well, and so Envy ended up on the back foot on the objective with no way to stop.
Stand 1 is not with his team. He's the only one on at the point, and so NRG Esports smart that could have been bad news, as the rest of Team Envy could have taken out either Stand 1 on the ground or everyone else on the top side, but nothing happened. That's now Elivo is the next. Oh, Sharp not going to be saved from this Graviton Surge transcendence was not enough, but now Team Envy are going to be coming back. They are never out of it. They have some of the best grit. They don't ever give up on it. These fights.
Trill's
so
still
low,
alive!
Gets a kill. This is what we're talking about. It ain't over until it's over for Team Envy.
That's insane! NRG took their eyes off demeched Elivo so early on, and Elivo got back in mech in the duration of that fight. They were tunneling so hard onto Trill and trying to finish off this very low Reinhardt, who was, you know, hopping like the quickness, but that they forgot about everybody else on Team Envy. Trill not only stays alive, he gets a charged pin kill. That's insane. So now Envy really didn't have a right to win that fight down the ultimates that they were, but things have evened up once again, and NRG already can't match Team Envy's time bank on this point. They're just going to be looking for a map completion.
Yeah, NRG are coming in for ultimates once again. Weather that storm. NRG trying to be that Category 5 Hurricane, and right now They're starting to build it up. Kessler getting that first pick, and now Ellie is teaming before the self-destruct comes through. And now the sound barrier is there to keep NRG Esports alive on the objective. I don't know if Team Envy are going to be able to come back from this one. They have taken a ton of casualties, and right now it's just the Zenyatta trying to stall as much as possible. Trill does get a hit onto Sandweb, but really just feeds himself into the rest of the team. That was a desperation move. Ellie will get a touchdown and come right back. Down there is going to make things interesting, and also there is a Crimzo in at the back line as well. But no! Things got interesting, but they were unable to stay on the point. NRG Esports are going to get 2 points of their own. We're going to extra innings.
Super unlucky that Crimzo and Fire didn't really have a chance to use those support ultimates on more than just a couple, 1 or 2 stragglers from the defense. If that sound barrier from Fire had landed onto Crimzo, could have been, you know, a different story. Team Envy might have been able to keep a couple more bodies to contest that point. But as it is, NRG, you know, keeping things even here on Horizon Lunar Colony, and they must come out with either a win or a draw. These are the semifinals, so this is a 1st to 3 match. Draws, it's as if it's a mulligan. We just start again and look for that win. But NRG can go home with no less than a draw if they are to keep themselves alive this season.
They have 2 minutes and 26 seconds, and I think with looking at the time bank coming from Team Envy, NRG Esports doesn't have a lot of room to work with. Team Envy can be expected with 5 minutes. I think the expectation is that they will capture this first point, and so that means the expectation for NRG at this point as well is to capture that first point.
You would really hope for a full map completion again, but with only 2 minutes 26 seconds, NRG will, you know, be happy with the cushion that a single point provides. No Junkrat, unfortunately, for Mirror, though we are told by, you know, so a very credible source that that's one of his top heroes. This time around, it's back to Brigitte for this player. And Team Envy themselves will be looking to punish NRG on their approach as they have done in the previous round.
And so they're lackadaisically walking into Team Envy right there. You saw the hesitation, so they are going to go ahead and rotate because Team Envy needs to rotate themselves, and they're going to meet each other on at the high ground. I love it when the teams fight up here because eventually it goes onto the objective as a skirmish. Oh, good move coming from Elievo. The thing about that is Elievo can make it back onto the high ground. The members of NRG Esports cannot. So Sharp is going to get that D-Mag, and keeping Smeck out of this mech for as long as possible is a good idea. He is getting close to getting that remake going. Kepster is going to be the first to die for NRG Esports. Smeck might be able to get back in at the mech, but was it going to be too little too late? Stand1 is able to get Trill, so that's a 5v5. The defense is going to have to wait a little bit longer for their full 6 to come through. So Team Envy really looking for another pick, but Jaru is so low. They are unable to finish off Jaru. Ellie was the only one on at the ground, and now investing in Transcendence. NRG Esports are putting everything into this fight.
Yeah, oh, that was so close. Trill again finding himself on the wrong side of the aisle. Elievo gets back in mech as well, so it's not over just yet. Oh my goodness, Poofs goes down. He was 5 seconds away from a sound barrier, and against all odds, Team Envy bring things back.
And they're going to bring it back with an ultimate advantage in the end. Team Envy coming up in the clutchest of moments. NRG Esports had an opportunity that they tried to use that Transcendence to get on, but in the end, Elievo gets back into the mech right after getting DMX somehow, and Team Envy are looking good to hold for the last 30 seconds. NRG Esports only have one more chance.
Elievo, he plays Diva, he plays Mei, he plays Pharah, but apparently his most powerful hero is Baby Diva. Oh, this guy's, you know, just Bunny Blaster accuracy is out of this world. NRG, though, are not without tools. They have Poofs and Sound Barrier, and they have an opener in the grab bomb combo.
So the Sound Barrier is there to open things up for NRG Esports. Smex is going to use that self-destruct. Sound Barrier is not available on either side. Earth Shatter, though, going to go right through the shield, but Stand1 going to go back to spawn and put them back in these fights. It's bad news for your team. NRG Esports are going to be at a disadvantage for the rest of this round, and they will be unable to capture all at point A. At least they got some progress. They are staring at 5 minutes and 19 seconds for Team Envy to beat that percentage.
This is a Mount Everest. This is definitely a very tough hill for NRG. If they are to defend, it's got to be, you know, the defense of their lifetime, because 2 ticks is not a lot, especially with the aggression and the pressure that Envy put on this point. Oh man, it's just like I feel like we've walked 1,000 miles in just one single Horizon Lunar Colony map. But
Imagine how NRG must feel at this
right,
point in
right.
time. Because again, like, they aren't playing it like, there are going to be times where Team Envy has stomped other people, right? NRG Esports aren't necessarily playing that terribly. Team Envy are just reacting and being proactive. Everything is going their way. It's almost like the world wants them to be successful at this point. No matter what energy is throwing at them, it's just not working.
Maybe the planets are aligned. Maybe there's something going on. You're on a moon base, but Team Envy now only need to capture 2 ticks in order to cash their ticket to the finals. NRG Esports going to be hoping for, a miracle hold at this point.
And so Team Envy, they must feel pretty confident. They can't be overconfident coming in there because we've seen massive holds in the past. It's rare, but this is the playoffs. If it's going to happen, I feel like it's going to happen in this kind of moment. Let's see what kind of grit NRG Esports are going to show here on the defense.
Yeah, we're going to be looking for early damage, early high charge for Kevster. Team Envy also makes this is the thing for Team Envy. They could take all the time in the world because the win condition is very clear for them. Oh, they're actually going to go on the right side. A little less usual for teams attacking on Horizon Lunar Colony.
Unusual, yeah, for
yes.
sure. So,
we got there.
Yeah, we're supportive of each other, right? NRG Esports now gonna try attacking Team Envy on the bottom side, but Team Envy are just kind of moving back and forth. Oh my goodness,
man.
They lost Ellie, but that's not as bad as losing Byram for NRG Esports. So Team Envy are going to go ahead and try to engage here, but look at those health bars. Trill somehow is still alive. I like the skin of his teeth. That is exactly how Team Envy plays. They'll put those resources into Trill and let Trill do that work, but they don't have Elivo anymore. But Trill is doing the work along with the rest of his team. These 2 takes will be done here very shortly. Team Envy are going to be punching their ticket to the final.
Indeed, Team Envy with the clean 3-0 against NRG Esports. Man, Trill has just been living on a knife's edge this entire series. What do we say to the god of death?
Not today.
Not today, indeed. And Envy backing their Reinhardt's play with every ounce and fiber of their being. Unfortunately, NRG, who played a very good GOATS game themselves, just not quite able to overcome that kind of teamwork.
Again, NRG and anyone who's made it to the semifinals should not be disappointed in this final result because NRG, another team that improved, especially this week. The team that we saw on Monday was much better than I think the team that we saw throughout the regular season. Kevster on the Sombra and the Mirror on the Zarya is a look that can be terrifying in the future as well. But alas, NRG Esports season ends today as Team Envy punched their ticket into the finals. But who's going to be their opponent?
Not quite sure just yet.
We'll find out very shortly as Sky Foxes and Atlanta Academy are going to round out today and complete our finals set. We'll see you soon.